Hi and welcome. I am Oracle Asherah. This is an Ascension energy reading for the week of April 3rd. We're connecting with our ancestors, spirit, angels, spirit guides, and most importantly, our higher self. Okay. So, our first card is teaching. I'm going to spin on this. Be teachable. Okay. So, what I'm going to say next, be teachable. We are dimensional beings. We are timeless. Okay, so this might be out there. So when we're in a point of choice, what are we listening to? We're listening to what we've learned, what we know, what we're thinking about, our desires, what our ego wants, what we wish to have, right? So we have all these things dancing around. What are we ignoring? Our intuition. What is our intuition? Our higher self that already knows the outcome. So quite often we'll get whispers, feelings, but we're not listening. We're listening to all these other distractions and noise. So we make a choice based on what we navigate the best with what we think we know. Plays out. We have an aha moment. Oh, I knew that was going to happen. Because what? Intuition told you. But it was the quietest. Right? So, what is that? What was that moment? That is the present moment where we're sitting in, oh, I wish I knew that was going to happen. I wish I didn't make that choice. So now that higher self becomes this present moment that we're sending to our past self. Right? So this is the dimensional chain of higher self. Okay? So when we're listening to all these things, when we're making a choice, it is important to ask yourself, what is for my best outcome? For everything involved, for the best outcome, what is my best path or choice in this? Right? Sometimes we already know. Our feelings will tell you. The feeling is the soul communicating and merging with the brain and thought and logic. Okay, so this is your heart brain. This is an extremely important marriage. This masculine and feminine higher self informing the self. Okay, so if we learn to communicate this way, we can avoid a lot of chaos, trauma, drama, and lessons we don't always want to sign up for. Okay, quite often we make choices, and sometimes they have life-lasting attachments that we can no longer escape. So now we have to accept things. Now our path is kind of forged for us. We didn't choose it, but you chose it. Okay, so learn to listen and communicate with the higher self. How do we do that? We become neutral. We sit in a neutral place within the being, so we're not overwhelmed with emotion. We're not overwhelmed with our traumas and dramas and our inner child, which is carrying all the information of past to present, birth to present. All that information is our inner child. So yes, there is value in that. All right, so we're acknowledging, but we're not driving. All right, our feelings are acknowledging, not driving. Our overthinking is acknowledging, not driving. Our higher self is dropping hints, never driving, because we're not in alignment with it too well yet, right? Okay, so we need to sit in our free will, in neutral, observe, and navigate from this heart brain. What are my feelings telling me? What is my intuition telling me? What is for the best possible outcome? Let's step out of ego. Let's step out of, I want this though. It looks good though. I think this is for me though. Right? We're not always right. We don't always know what's best for ourselves. Sometimes things just look too good and we take it. All right? So we need to learn to, is this for me? Ask yourself better questions. Okay? Okay. All right. So, burdens. Quite often we create ourselves a lot of unnecessary burdens because we didn't listen at the point of choice, or we made bad choices because of our energy. We might be in a very low vibration. We might be in a lot of pain. We might be depressed. We might have a lot of darkness that we're not dealing with. So we might be consuming with and surviving through our addictions, right? So we gotta be realistic, and become accountable and responsible for ourselves, for our experience, for what we're sharing with ourselves, through ourselves, for ourselves. Okay? When we create lifelong attachments through choices that we don't necessarily wish we didn't make, we have to have accountability. When we run from things we're supposed to be responsible for, you never escape. You can always change the scenery, but you can't change this. You're going to have grief. You're going to have shame. You're going to have guilt. These are very deep-rooted energies that are hard to get rid of, and then become a catalyst to feeding this really dangerous, low vibration energy that you'll never graduate from. Okay, so therefore now your path is forged. You're gonna carry this monkey on your back. You're gonna feed this demon, however your perspective is. You're going to navigate and carry this and just try to do your best. No, forgive yourself, be responsible and accountable for your choices. Face your fears, deal with your stuff, be responsible for your happiness. Be responsible for your choices. Every choice you make is your responsibility. You can't say, the devil made me do it. God told me to do it. No. Everything is the responsibility of your soul. Your soul is going to carry it no matter what or who influenced you. Okay? So you have to make choices with great responsibility. The next card is retreat. So it is okay to take a step back and observe, say no. I'm going to think about this. Give me time. Okay? Don't always involve yourself. Not everyone has your best interest in mind. Okay? So retreat. There's a difference from retreating and isolation. So if you're isolating and avoiding, that's not retreating. Isolating and avoiding is depression, very low vibration, accepting that that's your fate, and just sitting in this pool of suffering. Okay? Struggle is inevitable. Suffering is a choice, just like happiness is a choice. Okay? We need to choose things that are going to put us in the direction of what energy we wish to be in. So if you wish to be in this negative, low vibrational state, that's okay, because there's a lot of learning and shedding, and it's always an opportunity to do work. So it is part of a process that's important, but don't stay there. Okay? So retreating is choosing to take a step back, choosing to take a moment for yourself, choosing to take a period of time for yourself on something. So I'm going to be single for a period of time until I feel different about relationships, till I believe there is such thing as love again. Okay? If you are in disbelief of love and you're navigating in relationships because you're feeding desires or false hopes, you're doing yourself a disservice as well as these people you're interacting with. Okay? It's important to heal, take a step back, and observe. When we retreat, a lot of clarity will come to you. You'll see people's intentions clearer. You will see the clearer path, the clearer choice. What's for me, not for me. It allows yourself to have better conversations, answer yourself, to get to a place of, yes, this is what I want and need, and this is what I'm going to do. Okay? All right. Omens. So, what you're looking for, you will find. What is magic is when you don't expect to see something and you're like, oh, wow, you can't make that up. Okay? So omens are the moments of you can't make that up. Spirit was communicating with me. That was magic. Okay? That's an omen. If you are seeking and finding, that is just the natural course of action. All right? So be careful what you're seeking. Right? If you're seeking to suffer more, feed a pain, to feed a fear, you're going to find it. If you are looking for false positivity or to be positive about something or in alignment to being happy, you're going to find it. Okay, so it doesn't matter what you choose, but what in energy in which you choose it. So what are your intentions? Okay, so let's get back to Ohms and the magic. So our angels, our ancestors, our spirit guides, our past family members, they all love and want what's best for you. So it is important to connect and tap into this magical self that is everyone's birthright. Everyone has the opportunity to connect with this inner magic, the spirit world. Okay? It's not demonic. All right? They've demonized everything that is nature and natural. Right? So stepping out of fear and getting into real supernatural is super because it's natural. All right, so get curious. All right, but again, in what energy are you choosing? Are you in low vibration, low frequency? Because if you are low vibration and low frequency, those are the energies that are going to be communicating with you. And there are good dark energies, there's bad dark energies, because there's when I say good dark energies, is there's energies there to guide you out and lift up. Okay, so who are you communicating with? In that pool, there's all kinds of things. There's things that are feeding off your energy. There's things that are dropping you hints and trying to correct your energy. Okay, so just a thought. Okay, so when we raise our vibration, raise our frequency, do our healing, we're going to be speaking with higher frequency things. Okay, so understanding that we are dimensional beings, we are timeless, we are not alone here. There is much here to help, and there's a lot here to distract and destroy. Okay, so let's think about our energy, our intentions. Who are we? What are we doing? Okay, who am I to myself and who am I to you? Am I hurting you? Am I using you? Okay, it's important to, I don't think it's important to need things, need people, right? I think it's good to want to share with people. Okay, but if I need so and so, I need this, I need that, then you're just a taker. Okay, but if you're sharing and building, you're going to have roots and foundations that are your own. I hope that makes sense. Okay, it's all good. So even in those low vibrations, even in the destruction, even in our suffering and our burdens, everything is perfect because everything's an opportunity. Right? So everything is perfect because if we didn't have these things hurting and hey, I need your attention, we would never climb out. We would just get comfortable. We do get comfortable. We stay, right? So it's important to know there's different, there's more, there's better. Be inspired, because that is going to be, I don't need to be like this. I don't need to feel like this. I don't need to live like this. Okay? Back to be teachable. Okay. Okay. Let's talk about willpower. We were given free will. That is why even our higher self can't be loud. It can't be louder than all our distractions because we have free will, which means the soul in this present moment is choosing A, for its karmas, B, to learn, C, to love. Okay? So our willpower, what is powering our will? Okay? It's our intentions, our needs, wants, and desires. So when we get those kind of in check to realistic, healthy mindsets, we can do better. Willpower means follow through. What are we following through on, right? Are we following through with achieving with our addictions? Oh, I got what I needed today. I can get through today. Okay. Sometimes we blame things on other people, other places, other things. And that takes away our willpower because we're not being responsible. We're not being accountable for ourselves. So when we blame other people for all our things, we're never accountable. We never grow. So we're going just to be in this, I'm comfortable with everyone, it's everyone else's fault. Okay, but when you start having accountability and responsibility for yourself, you're going to have greater willpower. You're going to have a greater power within yourself. You're going to create a more sacred life. You're not going to invite in so much toxic people, situations, and information because you are within your willpower. You're in your inner higher self. You're within your sovereign self. Okay? You're not going to be influenced. You'll listen to be inspired to work with, but you're not going to be influenced and driven by other people's things. So it's important to navigate from your sovereign self. Discover your independent thought. Navigate from your feelings and your heart brain. Okay? Answers. All right. So when you start asking yourself better questions, give time for those answers to come. So that brings us back to the retreat card. So allow time for these things to come to you. Okay? Because there are a lot of things wanting to support you, but you have to ask. Everything that's influencing us doesn't ask for permission. It is just bombarding nonstop and forever. Okay? So what requires our permission needs our relationship and connection with and choice. Free will. Okay, so answers. I'm going to say for most, it's going to be through your feelings. Okay? Oh, those aha moments is, oh, I knew that was going to happen. You're going to feel something in your heart. You're going to feel something in your gut. Okay? So when you start asking questions and you start building your intuition, answers are going to be coming to direct you through by how you feel. All right? It's going to influence your free will. Not going to drive it, influence. So you always have to make the choice for yourself. Quite often with angels, you need to make a decision and the angels will assist. They're not going to tell you what to do, but they are going to assist your decision. They are going to assist in your healing, in guiding. Okay? No matter what we choose, they're going to do what's best. So let's talk about being consistent and holding space. So if we are praying for something, in alignment to something, and we change our mind every 2 seconds, we're changing our frequency constantly. So there is no exchange in energy. Energy takes time. So when we're constantly stopping and blocking our energy, we're always constantly starting over. But then we create this belief system, it doesn't work. But how did you allow patience to show you that it can work? Okay, so have patience, pray, wait, receive. Okay, that's kind of the formula. All right, so the waiting period is the patient period, not forcing anything to happen period, to witness and retreat period. Okay, answers come, solutions come, resolution comes, but you have to allow it. Okay, we can force this information because, oh, I see it, I think it, I'm just going to do it, right? But quite often there's a consequence. Quite often we trip and fall. Okay, you got to humble yourself. You got to be, I'm co-creating here. I'm not always right. Okay, we have family. All right. Okay, so we create family. Family is something we create. So sometimes we choose our family. Sometimes it's not always blood. Okay? So look at your environment. Be responsible and accountable for what people you are exchanging your love and energy with. Okay? If you don't have the right intentions to create a family, what are you doing? Okay. Are you just killing time? Oh, I'm just satisfying my needs. Are you being a good person? Are you being a good person to this person? Are they hoping that you're going to change? Are they hoping you're going to realize you love them one day? Are you just using them because you know they're not going to leave? Right? So have some integrity in your choices and date with purpose, right? I'm not saying everyone needs to date with the purpose of creating a family, because sometimes it is just nice to have company. Sometimes we communicate quite clearly that, hey, we're just hanging out for company. But quite often people have hidden agendas and intentions of, oh, I like you. I hope you one day discover you like me too. But then we need to realize that they have feelings. They have hidden agendas. And that's always a dangerous, dark thing. But they have hope that you won't fulfill. You don't even want to fulfill it. So then you have to be accountable and cut that cord, set that person free, not help yourself because they're available. Okay. Family. So what is your spiritual family? Your spiritual family is going to be people that support you, unconditionally love you, listen to you, share with you, don't judge you. Okay. So this is what family, spiritual family I'm talking about. So friends come and go. Family can be fleeting with their loyalty and love. Okay. So we need to pick and choose people that celebrate you and life with you. Okay. So sometimes people will present themselves, show their colors, doesn't matter if they're blood or not. If it's toxic, harmful, unloving, judging, just toxic in a way, it is your right to protect your energy and your life experience. So boundaries. Okay. So pick and choose your battles. Family dinners. Go put on a good face, eat food, do your best not to absorb harm, toxicity. Go home, have a long bath, smudge, be like, ugh, made it. Right? Or say no, don't go. It's okay. Okay? They're going to talk and judge you whether you're there or not. Okay? Okay. All right. Moving on. Trust. Trust. If you do not trust in yourself, nothing can help you. Okay? Not angels, not yourself, not other people. There's going to be nothing that's going to inspire you. So you have to come to a place where you love and trust yourself. That is the root of your sovereign self. All right, moving on with trust. Holding the vision, trusting the process. Holding the vision of the outcome. Holding the vision of your heart's pining desire, your life path, your journey, your relationship. Holding the vision, trusting the process. Trusting the process, bumper bowling, or with clear intention, achieving your outcome. Okay, so allowing time for this to play out. It could be a long time. Spirit, you could even hear in your intuition that this is going to take a long time. That person isn't ready for you. Wait. But you don't want like that answer. So you start pick and choosing this list you have of expectations. Well, I'm going to go back to my list of expectations. I'm going to pick and choose. This person looks like what I want. You're going to do harm. You might even create some permanent attachments you don't want. Okay? So trusting your intuition, trusting and asking questions. Is this for me? Okay? That could be a job. That could be a trip. That could be a relationship, a choice. Okay? So trusting and allowing yourself to observe as you're living within that trust. So even when you fall, be like, I didn't trust myself that moment. I should have. That's still a win. Okay. 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 The first card was it? Trust. Keywords: trust, insight, awareness, and guidance. Okay. Learning to trust yourself. Trust the decisions you're making is for your best possible outcome. Change your language. All right. When you shift your perspective, everything changes. The earth is in seasons and cycles. So are we. So when we start experiencing everything's the same. I'm bored. I'm bored of this. This always happens to me. That's because we haven't changed. When we change our perspective, the whole world is new again. Okay? So change your perspective as often as needed. Okay? Shift and heal. Raise that vibration from that low frequency. It's okay to be there. Heal what's deep in root, but come back up. Come back to the heart. Come back to the joy, the pleasure, and the happiness that life is. Okay? But that takes a choice. All right? So trusting your intuition means not sitting in depression. You're not going to observe correctly when you are sick. Okay? I'm not saying depression is a sickness, but it's something you're choosing. You get comfortable there. We're not born to be depressed, sad, judged, squashed, smoshed, forgotten, and lost. Okay? And that comes from yourself, trusting that life could be better. What am I going to do to make it better? Okay? Intuition. Right. Asking yourself to connect with your own intuition. Okay, make that a prayer. Okay, we have insight, understanding, awakening, awareness, self-evaluation. Right? It's always important to self-evaluate. I used to believe this, but I see how this belief made me attract these things. So when we are aware of our beliefs and how that is navigating our attraction, our frequency, we can learn that we can change by changing our perspective, shifting our beliefs, right? Having understanding and awareness. I'm going to leave that there. Okay. All right. My love cards wanted to play today, so let's see what's going on with love. Oh my goodness. Okay. All right. So we have first card is deception. Someone is wearing a false self mask in this relationship. Okay, that could even be you. So that could go back to what I was talking about earlier about the family and the dating and dating with purpose. Are you harming people with just feeding and fulfilling your energies and needs? Okay. So, and obviously that person is deceiving themselves, because if you're clearly communicating, being honest, but yet you're aware they have hopes in something else, you both are dancing in the state of deception at risk of creating burdens. Okay. So just an example. Okay. So a deception could also be, I'm in this relationship, but I'm cheating. I could be in this relationship because I'm bored. I'm in this relationship because it's giving me fulfilling some need of whatever it is you're fulfilling these needs of. those aren't healthy relationships, and that makes you an unhealthy person to other people. Okay? All right. Trust. Trust is like keyword today. The situation is calling for you to have faith. Okay. So sometimes we create doubt and fears, but those are something we're creating because sometimes we're sabotaging. Sometimes what we're seeking, we're finding, right? So sometimes we need to retreat in our mind and our heart and observe what is real. What is this person really? Are they there for me, or are they using me? Okay, when you start asking these kinds of questions, that process is going to make things clearer for you. Sometimes we need to have trust that things will play out correctly. So stop meddling. Sometimes we meddle, and when we meddle, we make things worse. So meddling is dangerous. So learning to observe, witness, and be true to yourself. I believe in love. If you have believe in love. Okay, right? Okay, the next card after this was this. Yes, this is your soulmate, right? So if we're having doubt and you're needing confirmation in this moment, yes, this person is your soulmate. Okay? Soulmate is someone that's going to want the best for you. It's going to push you to do your best. Okay? So sometimes we don't want to do that work. Oh, they're nag. They always have expectations. Don't have expectations because that's dangerous for everybody. But hold a high bar. Don't be a shitty person. Don't be harmful. Don't be toxic, right? Be in it or don't be in it. But don't be toxic. Okay? All right, next card, religious factors. Okay, this is going back to your belief systems. So your love life is influenced by your religious upbringing and spiritual path. So I'm going to simplify that. Your belief systems is navigating your attraction and your frequency. So if you don't believe in love, you're not going to be attracting this. Okay? So of course, you're correct. All right? But when you shift your perspective, I believe in love. I love love. I want love. You're going to change your frequency and change your attraction. Okay? So whatever you believe is true. It's that simple. Okay? Next card, retreat. We got some keywords repeating here, guys. All right. So it's time to disconnect from the world. Okay? So sometimes we're causing ourselves harm with our thoughts, our overactive feelings and thoughts, our fears, concerns, and worries, our inner child carrying all these burdens of wounds of past relationships and what we've learned in life thus far. So sometimes we need to heal this inner child so we can be more neutral, more ourself, more within our free will, our willpower, our sovereign self, our loving self, what we're offering. Because if you're offering all this baggage, heal this through our relationship, that doesn't make you a fair partner. That makes you toxic. Okay? So it's important. So when you're in moments to be able to say, I'm taking a minute. I'm going to address this part of myself for myself. So I offer you my best self. That's love. Okay. Let go of control issues. Allow the situation to unfold naturally. Okay, that's coming back to trust. Trusting the process. Trusting that this is going to work out for you. Trusting and having faith that this is correct. So if we're overwhelmed with our inner child, things we haven't healed, our fears, worries, and concerns, that's going to consume you. You're not going to be navigating from a healthy place. So what you're seeking for, you'll find. Trigger, trigger, trigger. Blow up, blow up, blow up. You might have devastational outcomes in your relationship, which you're going to have to repair, right? So it's easier to repair the self. Trust that if this person's for me, it's going to work out. If this person is my soulmate, they're not going to leave me because I'm taking 2 seconds to heal myself. They might create boundaries and push them away because now there's all this stuff that you've created in between each other. But you could avoid that by saying, this is the me thing. And when you're aware that this isn't a me thing, this is an us thing, then you bring that to the table. But if you're bringing all this to the table, you're going to create some problems that will need to be addressed and are unnecessary. Okay. Keep an open mind. All right. Your soulmate may differ from your usual type and expectations. What did I have? A list of expectations. That's right. So as soon as you have a list of expectations and someone that is your soulmate comes along, you're like, well, you don't look what I thought you would look like. Or I thought you would have this job with this kind of income. Or I thought this, or this. Right? So now you have limitations. And now you have expectations. And all these things that a box they will never want to fill. They want to be loved for who they are and what they bring. And these things you can build together. Okay. If someone's overweight, with love, that can heal. You can start being more active together. Never judge. When they start loving themselves, things will shift and change. When happiness happens, the weight loses. Why? Because stress. I'm stressed. I'm lonely. I'm hurting. I'm struggling alone. Puts on weight. Okay? So we can't judge people always. But if you can see the inner beauty, you can see them, you can see that, hey, we can grow together. Okay? If you have shallow expectations, you're just going to have a bought and paid for kind of life. Okay? You're not going to have real happiness. Right? So I'm not saying everyone's buying and paying for their life and happiness, but there's a mindset here. You're not navigating to the quality of the experience. Okay? If you're having these kind of expectations and shallow limitations you're putting on people, right? So you got to look at happiness, peace, love, growth. Who makes me the best person that I can be? Who's my best friend? Okay? Oh, you don't look like whatever. But you know what? When you love somebody, nobody can take your eye. Okay. Standing your ground. So this is talking about being your sovereign self. Standing in your peace, your power, your sacredness, mind, body, and soul. Okay, that is a very powerful thing I wish for everyone to experience, feel, be, and live. Okay. What else here? These are all kind of repeats. These are all repeats. I'm not going to bother. We've already talked about all these things. Okay, so let's get on here. Okay. All right. So this card is talking about connection to self, connection to higher self, connection to what is above and beyond in a higher vibration. Okay. So pray, ask, they're waiting for permission. Okay. These higher frequency energies are waiting for permission. So give them permission to have influence. Inspiration, sorry. Yes, influence. I have attached to a negative word, so maybe I should allow that to the last. Okay, allow them to have influence. You're giving them permission to influence outcomes and influence your heart brain. Okay, I prefer the word inspire, but I guess these energies don't own words. Okay. See again, your mind will always believe everything you tell it. Feed it hope, feed it truth, feed it love. Okay. I love that we're repeating messages. The messages are pretty clear. Okay. Integrity. Align your actions so they match your values and inner knowings of what's right for you. Okay. I love that. We're going to close with that. I wish everybody a great week, and until we hang out again. Love.